What's up, guys? How's it going? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to dominate your real estate wholesaling market. I'm super pumped up for this one, guys. I'm so excited, and
let's get into it and let's start talking about dominating your wholesaling industry. So let's get going, guys. So wholesaling real estate. So let's learn today how to dominate your wholesaling real estate industry. This is going to be a really exciting one, guys. I don't think I've really talked about exactly a step-by-step guide on actually how to dominate your real estate wholesaling operations. So this is going to be a really fun one. I don't think a lot of people know how to dominate their industry, and this is going to be a really fun one. So I'm really going to break it down step by step on this one. Again, guys, like usual, this is a live video. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I like to do lives because I don't like to feel like a regular wholesaling guru where I'm super disconnected from you guys and, I'm on my high tower just teaching you stuff. I want to really help you guys out and connect with you guys and see what I can help you guys out become a better real estate wholesaler. So before we get into it, guys, remember, you need to smash that like button and subscribe. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And let's get into it, guys. So wholesaling real estate market domination. So the first thing I can tell you right here is when it comes to dominating your real estate wholesaling operation, it takes one thing, and it's one practical thing that not a lot of people talk about. Everyone knows Rick. Rick screams about this so many times, but it's mastering marketing. If you can learn how to master marketing in your real estate wholesaling operations, you will do so well. A really good marketer will destroy someone who's a killer acquisitions person every single time. Why is this? Pretty simple. But a master marketer can get in front of more sellers. And let's say a master marketer is 70% proficient with in acquisitions. And let's say the acquisitions person is 100% efficient. What if I'm producing 1,000 leads a month? Well, let's say 100. Let's say 100 leads a month as a master marketing person. So a master marketer at 100 leads a month can close about 70% of them, which means they do 70 deals. This isn't hey, this is how many deals you should be doing. This is just general numbers for you to understand. Let's say our master person can only produce 25 leads, but they close 100%. That means they get 25 deals a month. That means the guy who's worse at acquisitions but knows how to market so much better will dominate. You'll make, what is it? Almost 50, you almost do 50% better than the average person. You're doing 50 more deals per month than the really good acquisitions person. That's why you need to know marketing. The next piece of advice I can give you when it comes to dominating a market, this is something that nobody understands. This is something I learned when it comes to YouTube. Actually taught me this the most. Is it's not about how much. Let me give you something about YouTube really quick. I know you guys don't do YouTube, but this is something I learned, and I really want to give it to you guys. So in YouTube, I learned that the person who spends the most in the fancy stuff, they try to sell you a course, they try to make everything look as professional as possible, and really they got the editors and they want to be as fancy as possible, and they want to do all the fancy stuff to make it seem like, hey, you need to give me my $10,000 course. And you get a regular Joe Schmo like me that runs a regular 7-figure operation, but I'm not here to sell you stuff. And I just go behind a regular camera. I got no editors behind me, and I just click live, and I give to you the true stuff without any of the BS, the junk, anything like that. And we can beat most of these fancy people that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month in YouTube marketing and all that. I just try to give you the real information. So the one thing I learned about that is it's not about how much money and this happens in wholesaling, it's not about how much money you spend getting in front of the seller. It's just not. It's just about getting in front of the seller. It's not how much money you spend in your marketing. So I've dealt with this when I started out in wholesaling. Let's call this guy John Smith. John Smith, I know in Port St. Lucie, was spending $50,000 a month in marketing. I'm not going to say his name, but he was spending $50,000 a month in marketing. Guess what I did? I was spending roughly $300 a month in marketing, and I beat this person in a deal, and I eventually started just whooping them more in deals. Why was I closing more and doing better than the person who's spending $40,000, $30,000 a month, even $50,000 a month in marketing? Why was I closing deals better than them, and why was I actually doing well? Because I did the guerrilla marketing tactics that John Smith did not want to do. He was too good for doing bandit signs. He did a bunch of direct mail, and that's basically it. the reason why I dominated over that person, eventually I started getting $5,000, $10,000 a month in marketing. I dominated them. So at my $10,000 a month marketing ad spend versus the 50 where I dominate, first of all, my acquisitions was really good. And also he wasn't a good marketer. But the reason is once I got in front of the seller, that motivated seller did not care how much money John Smith spent on his marketing. He did not care. That motivated seller did not care. They cared about who was going to help them in the situation, who that motivated seller liked better, and who overall they would choose to work with. And I learned that and I had a huge realization that was it. Like that, and I learned that with the YouTube also is I just got to get in front of the seller. It doesn't matter if this person spent more money than me or I spent more money. It's getting in front of the seller, building their rapport, and closing that deal. That's what it's all about. So when it comes to dominating a market, you don't have to be the person that spends the most money. You have to be the person that practically will help your motivated sellers the most. So next part here with the marketing motivation is we're not going to be this crazy billboard person. We're just going to cold call hot lists and SMS blast those niche lists. So hot lists, the cold calls. So the really hot lists, we're going to cold call, and the niche lists, the really niche government lists, we'll also talk about a little more in this video. We're going to do that. So cold call the hot ones and SMS blast the niche ones and then go from there. Some hot lists I can tell you right now, if you just want to dominate, generally, if you do all these lists, you're going to cover most of it. When you want to dominate in wholesaling at the best ROI possible with that, I'm not going to go tell you cold call every single high equity lead in your city. If you're in Maricopa County in Arizona, that's a lot of leads. That's probably not something you should be doing. But if you want to get the best ROI and just have really good results with it, and for most motivated, distressed sellers, if you're doing this list, you're basically covering everything really, like nothing too much. If you have this list and you just make sure they have enough high equity in these lists, you should be fine. This is pre-foreclosures, tax liens, vacants, probates, driving for dollars, water shutoffs. If you have these leads that are high equity, that's all really you need to get most distressed sellers in your market. I think easily 60 to 7% of all wholesaling deals fall in that category. And that's a lot because we do direct mail on basically every single high equity lead. And we spend so much money that it's a good ROI for us still, but we'll get deals that no one can get in any list just because we do so much high equity marketing. So I would say roughly in my experience, you get about 70%. And that's almost as good as you're going to get when you're spending less than $2,000 or $3,000 a month. And that just gets you in front of the motivated seller so you can go out there and dominate your market. Now, the next thing we got to talk about here is dominating your competition and acquisitions. Now, yes, becoming a very good marketer is the pinnacle. Like that's what you need to get really good results, especially when you dominate your industry. But again, once you get in front of that seller, if your closing is atrocious, if you're only closing 20%, you're not going to do well at all. And you're probably not going to dominate. So we got to talk a little more about the competition wise and how to actually beat your competition because it's not talked about enough. And it's honestly so important, guys. So the number one thing I can tell you guys is qualifying your sellers efficiently. Time is everything in wholesaling. If you're a one-person show, your time is super duper important. It is one of the most important things out there. So going out there and wasting your time going on every single appointment, you're going to get very disgruntled. You're going to feel quote unquote burned out because you're going on appointments that aren't good. You're going on appointments that you're almost destined to fail. Why are you destined to fail? Because you're not qualifying your sellers efficiently. To qualify your sellers efficiently, you need to know how to do the 4 pillars, the 4 questions of every motivated seller. These 4 questions have been done by every single wholesaling guru since the 1980s. So no one's really coined this phrase. So don't give me credit for it. Don't give any wholesaling YouTuber guy credit for this one. This is stuff that the OGs back in the day, even Ron LeGrand back in the day was even doing this in the 80s and 90s. But this is the stuff that the old school guys, Robert Sheeman, shout out to all these people that they kind of developed the system in the 80s and 70s. They really took from old school like sales tactics, like the boiler room stuff and stock markets in New York in the 40s and 30s. But really boils down to 4 questions to really find a really good wholesaling deal. It's number 1 is motivation. Why are they looking to sell the property? Number 2 here is the condition. What is the condition of the property? Number 3 here is time frame. What is their time frame for selling the property? When are they looking? Are they looking to sell in a month, 2 months, 3 months? It's very important to know. And lastly is price. I don't really think price is like the cure-all. I don't think if someone gave me a really bad price, it's like, hey, you know what? They gave me a bad price. The deal's over. I can't do any deals anymore. The price, you can really get it down with really good rapport. Now, this is the stuff. Now, what I'm going to tell you next is this is the stuff. If you have a pen and paper right now, write this down right now. This is what I can tell you. 2 things if you want to get really dominant in your acquisitions right now. Number 1, speed. 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 I said speed 4 times there, I think. Speed is going to be the difference between you doing very well in your acquisitions and someone not doing well. The reason why my operation does so well, like I don't think I spend the most money in my market and we do the most sales and the most revenue and profit, is because we have speed. We have 2 things, speed and this other thing. This is my little formula. This is the winning formula for wholesaling, especially in acquisitions, is having speed and having good rapport. That's it, guys. Rapport, speed, and rapport. I'm gonna click it a couple times. So speed, rapport, speed, rapport, speed, rapport. Okay, like if you just get one thing out of this video, like one thing in your brain today, speed and rapport. So speed, getting in front of the seller as quick as possible, going out there and just getting in front of the seller and getting that deal done. Having that speed will just dominate. You could be going as the best acquisitions person possible, but if they're not at that appointment and you get the closing and you actually close it, that person's acquisitions or marketing skills means nothing. Having the speed out there is everything. Go out there with rapport. Rapport is everything too. If you can connect with a seller, if you can learn how to connect with your seller efficiently, you'll do so well in wholesaling and you'll never struggle finding a deal, because you can spend $0 in marketing and still get deals. So having that speed and rapport is super important, guys. Next, here's some more practical advice I can give you when it comes to dominating your market with acquisitions is go for hard closings. Really make it I don't know exactly how to word this the correct way, but I mean, excuse my way of saying it, but you got to play hardball with your sellers, and you kind of have to be not a jerk with them, but you got to tell them you're not going to waste your time. That's the general the way you're going to do it. You're saying basically that you're going out there. If you're going out there, you're going to get something signed or not. You have to get it agreed. This is called setting the stage. Set the stage on your appointments. Start doing hard closings where, hey, I need a decision right now. Those maybes, time will kill all deals. That is a true fact. If you have time in between your deals, you're going to lose it. You're not going to be the highest bidder. That's what I teach on this channel. I teach you to get deals done. So you got to get hard closing, to setting the stage. This is a tactic a lot of acquisitions people love doing. And this is basically telling your motivated seller, hey, before I walk in or before I go on this appointment or before we get on this phone chat, the Zoom thing from a virtual, if you're doing virtual wholesaling, I need you to agree. Let's have a little agreement that at the end of it, that you're going to give me a decision if you agree or not, if we can move forward and get the paperwork going on this one. That's it. There's going to be no maybes. That will help you close so many more deals. It just shot up my closing rate in real estate wholesaling like insane. So help you guys so much. Next here is dispositions. Your dispo process has to be on point for wholesaling real estate. Really, there's 3 big pillars I can give to you about it. Number 1 is network every single day. Network with realtors. Network with other cash buyers, other wholesalers. Start learning JVing. JV your competitions deals. It will help you so much, guys. I cannot express this enough. Start helping your sellers out. Start helping your motivated sellers out. Start helping your wholesalers out that are fellow. You will JV really good deals. Huge. Next here is steal your cash buyers data. This is a really fun one. I love stealing my cash buyers data because cash buyers don't care how you find them. I mean, wholesalers are like very secret about their cash buyers list, but the cash buyers don't care. Cash buyers rather have more wholesalers to buy more discounted property. So they don't really care. So what I like to do is find my competition's cash buyers. So the way I do it is I figure out the deals that they're doing. Like if I find that they, hey, we're a wholesaling company and we closed here on 123 Main Street. What I'll do is look up 123 Main Street and find the actual buyer because that person wholesaled it. So that your competition did 123 Main Street. They like bragging because they got an ego or whatever. They want to feel good about themselves, make you feel bad. So use that ego play for an advantage. So to steal their cash buyers data. So let's say here that they bragged about 123 Main Street here in Knoxville, Tennessee. What I want you to do is look up 123 Main Street. So what they did is they wholesaled it to the cash buyer. Usually it's a really cash buyer they got if they're bragging about it. because they had a really good, nice wholesaling check. So let's say they're bragging, I made 20K in this wholesaling deal. Oh, look at my check at 123 Main Street. I'm the man. So what I want you to do here is go there, search that 123 Main Street up. What it's going to say is ABC Investors LLC bought it, because the wholesaler didn't buy it. He's wholesaling it. And then you see here that ABC Investors, here's their mailing address. Go to Truebill search, cold call that list, cold call that person. That is the cash buyer for your competition. Steal the cash buyer data. You will steal all their big cash buyers. It will save you time, save you money. And it's ethical because you're not technically stealing. You're just looking up public information. You're good to go. Now, I'm not saying you go, if someone's got a contract, you go out there and try to block that contract or do something bad. That's not ethical, but steal the cash buyer's data. Hey, why not, right? Use their ego play to your advantage. Next year's cold call cash sales. My biggest recommendation is go to listrei.com, listrei.com. Again, that is listrei.com, listrei.com. Cold call those people. Ask those people if they're interested in buying more properties at a discount. Get the proof of funds. Boom, you just built your cash buyers list. That is how to dominate in your real estate wholesaling market. Hopefully, you guys got some value out of this one. So let's answer some questions, see what I can do to help, see if I didn't really explain anything too well, or what I can do to help you guys out. What's up, Sam? What is up? Good afternoon. How's it going? How's it going? Let's see here. Is Rick and your dad? Yes. Hey, Zach, can you do a video on how you do calls by a seller? That SMS last was very, yes, I'll work on it. Appreciate it. Karina says, click so fast on this live, LOL. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Kenny says, hi, Zach. Recommendations to pull lists on loan mod pending properties. I'm getting a video done on this one very quickly. Go DM me. I have a couple ones right now, but usually you're going to have to get a specialty list. Let me help you out with this one. I'm looking at a couple ones right now. I know potentially PropStream might be coming out with something. I don't believe so anytime soon. There's some interesting ones. There's Atom Data. There's GeoPoint that does very well. I specifically for loan mod pending, I'm going to have to get back with you on that one and ask. But I know there's some different ones outside of listrei.com that'll do well. But generally, that's a very niche list you're trying to get. And I know what you're trying to get out here with the new presidential administration with this. I'll be very interesting when I do. Zach with the glasses, what's up? I appreciate it. I decided to wear glasses today. So, hey, I know there's a little glare sometimes on it. My apologies. I'll get the contacts in soon. But yeah, I decided to wear glasses today. Why not? Sam wants to know, I'm not good at cold calling. Should I hire a VA? I don't recommend you hire a VA at all. My best recommendation for you here is get better at cold calling. Keep cold calling, guys. That's it. The more you cold call, the better skills you're going to get and the better wholesaler you're going to be. So I do recommend that in cold calling, you do not hire VA. You do it yourself and get really good at it. The more you do, the better you're going to do. You're the man, Zach. I learned so much from you and your father. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Ab S says here, my question is for you is I have 2 deals in a prime area, but I cannot find comps for them because there's no building like them in the area. What do I do? Cash flow comps, go by cash flow. That'll help you so much. I'm telling you, cash flow comps, see how much the thing will cash flow for. So let's say it'll rent for $10,000 a month, or let's say $1,000 for easy numbers, divide that by 1% equals $100,000. That's what that cash flow, quote unquote, comps. It's a rough way to do it, but that's the best way I have. George says, what's up, George? What do your code violation mailers look like, verbiage, and what candidates to use on code violations? I cold call and text exclusively with code violations. I do not do direct mail with it. Samuel Aronoff says, thank you for the content. Thank you. I appreciate it. Aaron says, hello, thanks for the live. I like to ask around, who do you guys use for skip tracing? I use smszach.com for skip tracing. Let me get the thing out there to help you guys out if you want. Let's see. I use smszach.com. That's what I recommend. That's what I use. So smszach.com, or I use treepeoplesearch.com if I want to do something free. What is your favorite list to target? I love high equity, but vacants right now are probably one of my favorite. Zach, I made it. What's up, Cumberland REI? Jacob says emergency question. Who pays for the inspection fee and when? Also, how do I verify the proof of funds? Are you doing, there's no inspection fee at all. If you're doing virtual wholesaling, I guess you would pay for it if you want an inspector to go through it. How do I verify proof of funds? You just look at some actual bank account that can be verified. Chase Bank, Bank of America, do not do a letter. No, it has to be straight screenshot of a bank account, certified, or a certified letter from the bank. NFL Smoke wants to know, how do I get hedge fund buyers? The best way to find hedge fund buyers, is, in my opinion, is networking. Then the best one. Let's see. My mom was in real estate. She threw a bunch of questions trying to get perfect. No worries, Jacob. Let's see. Gian says 2 questions. Zach, do you get the answers all for qualifying? Oh, sorry. Do you get the answers to all qualifying questions in the first call, or does it take a couple calls? It takes 1 call to do it. Can you explain the difference between trying to wholesale in saturated market and a wholesaling that isn't saturated? Really simple. I can do it in about a sentence or 2. Wholesaling in a saturated market, it's harder to get a deal, but it's easier to sell the deal. In a non-saturated market, it's easier to get a deal. It's harder to sell it. The difficulty is the same exact. I'd rather wholesale in the saturated market because it's a lot easier just to beat your competition than it is to find cash buyers that aren't in the area. So I recommend do the saturated market, quote unquote, but not too saturated. And a saturated market and a great market is amazing. I'm talking about saturated market in like a Los Angeles. That's not a good one. What's up, Mustache Mike? What market are you wholesaling in? I'm currently in the Treasure Coast of Florida, so Indian River counties and St. Lucie County. Also do Martin County, and we do all of Palm Beach County too. So we're doing more content for Palm Beach County we got coming up. It'll be pretty exciting for that one for that one. But yeah, that's the local markets we do, basically from Vero Beach south. We'll do all that. We'll do Miami, but I mean, Miami's not really the best for us right now, so we don't really do Miami. For virtual wholesaling, we like to do Michigan, the Carolinas, Central Georgia, and we like to do Eastern to Central Tennessee. Let's see. Can you go into detail more on pre-probates? What happens once you have someone who agrees? What's the next step? What I want you to do is go to YouTube, go to Zach Ginn on YouTube, or go to Flip with Rick on YouTube and search Flip with Rick space pre-probates. There'll be about a 2-hour video that I really went in depth with it. That'd be a lot easier. But basically on listrei.com, listrei.com, to find pre-probates, what they do is they search people who own property. Then they cross-reference that with the recently deceased obituary records. And so they find people who just recently died that own property, and that's what a pre-probate is. The probate process isn't even going through. That is the whole process. The next step for you to do is skip trace that with smszach.com of the deceased person. Hear me out. What I want you to do is pull the relatives and then cold call and SMS text those relatives, asking them if they're the owner of that deceased property. And sorry, a little burp. I was drinking a lot of water. And and if that person is interested in selling the property, again, guys, you can obviously tell this is a live video. I don't do the editing on this one. I know fancy things there. I try to be as real as possible for this. What's better to use for list data, PropStream or batch leads? I think they're both equal. I think listrei.com's got the edge because it has a Drawing for Dollars app. But again, you get 50% off of the batch list if you use code ZACH, Z-A-C-H. So it's a wash. It's really tough. I'm using both, and I'm really trying to figure it out now. I'm getting the same results with both. So I think they're getting the same data source. So I don't think you can get wrong with both. I'm researching both right now, though. Would you recommend asking for proof funds for the cash buyers? The reason why is to avoid another wholesaler trying to take your deal or to avoid people that aren't serious. Every cash buyer has to go through proof funds. I have to look at your bank account and see how much money you got in it before I'll even talk to you. So yes, you need to get proof of funds from your sellers ASAP. Not even a question. Get proof of funds. I'm telling you right now, it will destroy the people who aren't serious and who are other wholesalers for your cash buyers list. So clean it up really quick. Get a certified letter from the bank or actually look in the real bank account and see. Someone else, if I use REI SIF, no. Hi, Zach. I live in a small city about an hour away from Raleigh. Should I start drawing for dollars in my city or be smart to go to Raleigh? The best way to do this is, I'm going to be completely honest. I want you to spend, okay, I want you to spend 8 hours next week drawing for dollars. I want you to spend 4 hours drawing for dollars in the small city, 4 hours drawing for dollars in the bigger city. And I want you to do that every single week for 3 months straight. And then I want you to see how many deals and leads you get from the small city versus the big one, drawing for dollars for hours and hours and hours. Make your decision from there. That's my best recommendation. I'm a data-driven person. So, like science, there is a science to wholesaling. You look at the data. If it's working, go for it. If it's not, it's not. Same with my marketing. If I'm cold calling if I'm cold calling only high equity, and then I'm only cold calling, let's say, a vacant list, and I find that for every $1,000 I spent for vacant, I get $100,000 in revenue. I'm going to go, and then I do the high equity and I figure out for 1,000, I only get 70. Probably go with 100 that's got the better ROI. That's the way I'll decide to do it. Can you please show us how you comp land and duplex? I comp duplexes by cash flow. I do how much you'll rent for it and then divide that by 1% and other comps in the area. I comp land by just asking my cash buyers how much they're paying per quarter acre in land. It's that simple. Zach, keep going. I appreciate that, RK. Cumberland REI wants to know, my name is Laura. Quick question. What drawing for dollars marketing strategy in Fayetteville market would you schedule look like on a daily basis to close a deal a month? Oops. Fayetteville is an amazing market. I'm guessing it's Fayetteville, North Carolina, not Fayetteville, Arkansas. But I think this strategy will work for both. What I want you to do here is drive for dollars in Fayetteville. I want you to drive for dollars 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then go to truepeoplesearch.com on that list, skip trace it, and then cold call that list. Simple as that. That's what I do to get a deal in a month. Beast Mode wants to know, do I ever do on-market deals? I do not do on-market deals. I do not recommend doing on-market deals. Cannot say enough. Do not do on-market deals right now. It is way better to do off-market at this current rate. Again, this YouTube channel, I do go live. So if something shifts, the real estate market changes, I will be completely different. I'll change the exact way I'll do it. But as of right now, no, I do not do off-market deals. I do not do on-market deals right now. I will occasionally try to do a couple. Maybe I'll do 1 or 2 a year, but really I'm not that crazy on them. Amen. Paul Singh says, what's the best way to get code violations in virtual markets? Call the code violation department, aka the code enforcement department or code compliance, and ask for that. You'll be surprised that you'll actually get this information. So that's what I would say. Jacob wants to know, thank you. I'll be on every live, man. Let's do this. Awesome, Jacob. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Aaron says, not sure what data do you use, PropStream or batch leads? My question is, what time of month does vacant data update? It depends on when it gets pulled on the United States Postal Services, the USPS. The USPS's database. It just depends. Vacants update per property. So when it comes to that, it's just when they put the green slip on the thing. So the green slip is if someone's not getting the mail and they're not picking it up. Eventually, I don't know the formula, maybe after, I think, 14 days, they'll just put a green slip on there, so this property is vacant. Once that's registered on the vacant list, pretty sure it gets updated instantly. Just depends when the person stops answering mail. Nadar, let's see, says here, how can I use a quick claim deed to buy 9 out of a 20-acre plot? How do I find buyers for land in rural wooded areas? Nadar, do not quick claim deed anything. It will not get clean title. I mean, you potentially could. It would be a mess for you to do. I use a title company and you're wholesaling it. So the cash buyer will be paying they'll be paying the title. So there's really no point of doing that. I probably would not do that. Sam says, how do you qualify your leads to install them into your Podio? I ask the same 4 pillar questions as I do before. So the same 4 questions I always ask is, hey, what is your motivation? What is your condition of the property? What is the time frame? And what is the price? That's it. Zach, also, have you done business in Fayetteville, North Carolina? If yes, do you have cash buyers in our market? I've been running into buyers not wanting to give proof of funds. I had a deal. I had to terminate the contract because I could not find a buyer. I have buyers. DM me. I'll help you out. At Flip with Rick and at Flip with Zach. Those are my two Instagrams. What I probably would say here right now, though, too, is you need to just go to listrei.com, listrei.com. Start cold calling cash sales. Those are people that legit have money. Be really easy to do. If they don't want to give their proof of funds, they're not legit. Unless you're like asking for those social security numbers, you should be fine, guys. Marie says, how do you feel about the Columbus, Ohio market? I think it's a great market. My personal recommendation, though, is do the outskirts of that too, and whatever is in the inside of it. I think it'll do very well in both. But yeah, with the Columbus, Ohio market, it's a weird one. It's tricky. But I think you can do a lot of JVing on there. But I think it's a good one overall. Thank you. I like the organization of batch and SMS. I'll switch. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so I have one more for today, and I'll get back to my lists. Okay, so my mom said there's a lot of scams out there. How do you know who you represent? Like, do you, what? Hold on. Okay, so I have one more for today. Okay, so my mom said there's a lot of scams out there. How do they know who you represent? Do you represent yourself? I represent myself for wholesaling. So it's my company. I don't know how to answer this question correctly. If you're saying, yeah, that's all I can say. Scams. I mean, if you're buying the property cash and you and your partner are cash buyers buying them, then you're good to go. Don, what's up, Don? Just added cold calling to my market. How many leads do you burn through a day? It really depends if you're using a 10-line dialer, a 12-line dialer, or a 3-line dialer. My best recommendation, again, it depends on the list too. My best recommendation is if you're pulling someone at 80, if they're doing 3-line dialer, if you're doing, I think you'll burn through maybe, let's see. I mean, we'll probably get 2 to 3 leads a day per cold caller. Depends how much they're working, but you can easily go through 500 to 2,000. It really depends on how big of a dialer you have and how many you're going through and how much you're talking on it. Mustache Mike says, working as a delivery driver, I've seen many properties in bad condition or abandoned that if you don't want to put wear and tear on the car, that's a good idea. Perfect. Okay. Whoa, that's a lot. All right. All right. Since I started investing, it's been smooth and no. Oh, that's a scammer. How do I block that person? Those are those bots that always go in there and they're like, oh, go invest with me for Bitcoin or crypto. Like, get out of here. I can't stop these. I don't know how they're so good at getting through all the filters we have for bots. They'll have like a regular person. They'll put like all their information. They'll match the word collaboration when I ask people to go in the mastermind. It's kind of crazy how those bots work. It's, oh my gosh, it's so nutty. It's actually kind of impressive how they do it. So, let's see here. Nathan says here, hey, Zach, I'm hiring 2 VAs for cold calling next week. Congratulations. I went to train them hands-on. How much time per week do you spend training your cold callers? Usually you can use a company or you use yourself. You're going to have to dedicate at least 30 minutes every day before they start working for just a meeting. I'd say 5 hours a week. Training, you need to make your own videos and send it to them. So, and then you do that. Make your own videos, screen share, start learning how to make your own videos, do it once, and you don't have to spend hours. I mean, it would take you 5 hours a week all on top of that on training them. So what I recommend you do is just suck it up, spend 15, 20 hours recording actual high quality videos, actual deals you've done, recordings of you cold calling, exactly what you want to do, recordings of deals you've actually done, talk about it, and then spend that 20 hours, and then boom, you don't have to train ever again. You do, but you'll save so much time. Nice, Zach. Thanks, Steve in Boston. Sam said, what are your views on investor care? I don't think it's that good. Too much saturated for the pay-per-click. I don't think it's the best one out there. Lulu says, how would you vet cash buyers? Just ask for proof of funds. Just tune in. So I'm not sure what I missed. Sorry if you went over this already. Hey, no worries about it. I asked for proof of funds. I want to look at a snapshot of their bank account or an actual letter from the bank saying they actually have the funds. That's it. Like you have other wholesalers posing as cash buyers and trying to daisy chain and JV the deal. But at the end of the day, they're a cash buyer because they're going to buy the property cash, not the loan. I don't want people that have loan or they got hard money to buy. They're not cash buyers. Those are hard money buyers. Completely different process you have. So what I want you to do is you want to just make sure they got the money in the bank. That's it. Money talks, right? Get a letter, get a proof of funds, make it legit. That's it. Very easy to fake a proof of funds the wrong way. Just get a random letter. So what I want you to do is get a letter from a bank or a snapshot of their bank account. They say there's personal info. Say, hey, just Sharpie out, print it, Sharpie out the account number. That's it. Let's see. Beast Mode says, how do you explain to your leads how you got their name and number without feeling uncomfortable or targeted? There's two ways to do it. You can do the marketing department way, which is not too bad. The marketing department one's fun. So just say, hey, our marketing department got it. So I'm sorry, but like I just deal with talking to people. And that's the way you get around it. But really, the way I do it is, hey, we're just reaching out to people who are potentially looking to sell the property. Me and my partner, we're looking to buy properties for cash. That's it. Sorry if we contact you in the wrong way, but I think you would rather me call you than go knock on your door in person when you're eating dinner. That's kind of what I did. I decided I wanted to call you, get your phone number. We just use data companies to get it, and we're just looking for people who want to sell the property for cash. If you're not, I can take you off the list. Go from there. That's what I do. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate you. Thank you. Oops. Steve wants to know, do you have a JV contract you could share? Working on it right now. Daniel says, do you wholesale in California? Not really. The markets that work in California, I know, is the Inland Empire, Fresno, California, Oakland, actually. Those are kind of the pretty good ones to do. Oh, let's see here. Santiago. What's up, Santiago? Says, hey, Zach, what documents does the title company ask for at the time of closing apart from a purchase agreement? That's basically end the assignment. They want those two. And then from there, you're basically good. So that's probably what I'd recommend. Simple as that. I mean, all you really got to do is just get the PSA, the purchase and sale agreement, get the assignment, and then also get the deposit that you need to go send to the title company of like your $100. And then make sure you get the deposit of your cash buyer. That's basically what they really need. They also need your seller's information, the motivated seller's info, their phone number, email, everything like that. But really not that complicated. Daniel says, appreciate the content, Zach. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate you. Andrew says, what kind of KPIs should we be seeing in our SMS and cold calling campaigns? The KPIs, I was a lot bigger in talking about KPIs, but I've talked about a lot less because your KPIs are important. I track them. But at the end of the day, it's how many deals you're getting per month and how much money you're spending. Simplify the process, guys. It's also going to know your delivery rate, but what if your delivery rate is a lot lower? Let's say the average one's 20%. That's what you want for delivery rate for SMS. But let's say your delivery rate's 5%, but you're doing 6 deals a month. Are you going to stop that? I would say 20% SMS is probably what we want to do. And I think for cold calling, you roughly, if you're cold calling 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, one person, you should easily get 1 to 2 deals. Tell me specifics. I'll help you out. Let's see here. NFL Smoke says, my county said no longer give water shut off list. What's the best way to do this? What county are you in? Let me know what county. Jay says, when you do virtual wholesaling, do you use the same LLC as your local deals or do you use a different LLC? I do the LLC in my local state. Dylan Smart says, how do you keep track of who have called and who said not to call back? I will follow up with every single lead once a month. So it doesn't even matter. If they say, okay, what I'm trying to think here is you're for cold calling using ZachDialer.com. So let me pull it up for you guys, get the trial on that one. That's my dialing system that I use. But it'll go through all the phone numbers, 1 through, let's say 10,000, and then it'll go back to 1 if you want to re-upload that campaign. Just basically depends on what you want to do. You can do it differently. You can switch how you want the campaigns or how well you want to dial it. But roughly I like to go 1 through all the way through and then do it again. I cold call in the entire list every single time. Let's see, Nathan says, thanks, man. You're awesome. Thank you. You're awesome, Nathan. Thank you. I appreciate your dedication to this channel and the support you give. Someone says, when do you know when to reduce your fee to your buyers? I like to max out the fee. Whoever will give me the most fee for it, usually I'll go with them. So only reduce it if the cash buyer is not going to close just because of the price and you're already making 40K and they won't go anymore. But I never want to reduce my fee with my buyer ever. Heidi says, I was watching one of your videos. Did I misunderstood what you said that you're cold calling and someone doesn't want to be called? You still follow up with them like a month? Of course. I mean, overall, that's what I do. Unless they want to be taken specifically off the list, then sure. But you know, if they say, "Hey, no, I'm not interested in selling my house," I'm going to go call. I'm going to blah blah blah. I'm going to go cold call them again. Of course, I like to follow up with every single month. So every single month, that lead on that list is either going to be cold called, SMS blasted, or they're going to get a text from me. Wait, no, sorry, SMS, cold call, or they're going to get a direct mail piece from me. Like that. That's what I like doing. So of course, that's what I'm going to do. Let's see here. George Jaggy says here, let's see here, George. Do you send your contract to title and begin title search and then market? If seller backs out, do you pay title? Okay, so George says, do you send your contract to title and begin title search and then market? If seller comes back out, do you pay title fee for the search regardless? I already have an agreement on there with my title company. If they do the search, I don't have to pay for it because I do so many deals. It just depends. So usually if it's a problem, you just got to ask your title company beforehand. Usually you'll be okay. So I usually have them get the assignment first if I started out and then run the title after. But no, I mean, the cash buyer will be paying the title for it. So you should be fine. Let's see here. You're in Atlanta. So go to Fulton County and keep asking. And then you can easily get in Fulton County. So just are you going to the utility department? Like, where are you going? And then just let me know from there. And also, I need to know NFL Smoke. What's the reason why they're not giving it? It's better to get your first deal solo, hands down. It's way better to get it solo because doing it yourself is so much better. Like, you get more money, you learn from yourself, and overall, like, it would just give you the most important thing also is confidence. It's super important. Some more water here, guys, really quick. Telling you guys, gallon gone. I haven't even worked out today. And I just drink a lot of water. It gives me a lot of energy for these lives. It gives me a lot of energy just to work in this business. So that's why I like it. I chug a bunch of water. And everyone say, oh, it's unhealthy to drink all that water. I work out. So like I get plenty out, do the running, plenty of basketball, weightlifting. So I drink a ton of water. It gives me a lot of energy from acquisitions. And especially when it comes to your dispositions, your acquisitions, anything, drinking a lot of water just gives me a lot of energy. So it's cool. Luis says, what happens to the property when the property owner dies on a reverse mortgage? Reverse mortgages, I would avoid them at all costs. Let's see here. Caleb says, when doing virtual deals, which state should the title company be in? The title company should be in the local market. EJ88, how many times do you go through a list cold calling before moving on? I would keep doing my lists are alive. They're not dead or like they're living, breathing things. So the list I have will constantly be updated. So my high equity list will constantly be updated all the time. So usually I'll go through an entire list for the year before I switch it up, or it really just depends. For code violations, I usually do code violations. I'll hit the whole list for, like, if you're on a code violation list, I'll market you for 4 months, and that's basically it. And then I'll just do all the new code violations from there. Same thing with really probates. Probates will only do cold call it twice, and then roughly we'll just send one mailer out. That's really it. Dylan says, so you can call someone back when they say not to, or do you just manually remove your number? It really just depends on what you want to do. Yeah. What's the list you have found the most success in? Probates, hands down. Probates, can't get enough of it. I'm in Gwinnett County, but I have access to all the surrounding counties because we have a website that we have to go to. But Gwinnett County just said we no longer do this. We stopped 10 years ago. Is it the Gwinnett County Utility Department? You got to dig deeper and try to get a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information Act request. You'll get it. They have the information. I'm telling you. You just need to go to the utility department. Didn't give me a that's not good. Have you done a deal in Pittsburgh? No. I heard it's a good market though. Dylan says merchandise coming soon, gallon water bottle. I would love that. That'd be great. But no, I don't sell you guys anything. That's kind of the point of this whole channel is that I don't sell courses. I'm not trying to sell you merchandise or anything like that. Cumberland says, how many contracts a week should I get? I make driving for dollars 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. Is an answered phone call when cold calling considered successful contact only if it's a non? Is an answered phone call when cold calling considered a successful contact, or is it a non-answered? Is it non-answered call? A non-answered call is not a contact. A contact when you call and they answer. How many contracts? It really depends on how good or what market you're in. I think you need to do your own data. So do 2 hours a day, 7 days a week for 3 months straight, and then you get your own data. What I do in my market will be different than what you do in your market. So that's what I would say. I hate to tell you guys something because if I tell you I'm doing, if I did that, I'd maybe get 4 or 5 contracts in a week, in a month, and you'd be like, "Oh, I'm so bad." What if I say it's 2? Are you gonna be like, "Oh no, I'm getting 2 deals"? Still do it. So you should get at least hopefully a deal a month, maybe 2. I don't know, but if you're only doing 2 hours a day, maybe 1 to 2 deals. Just depends really. Like it depends how good of an acquisitions person you are and how well or how many times you cold call that list. There's a lot of variables, but just go as hard as the paint as you can and you'll have great results. How do you wholesale a house with a solar lien? You just pay the lien off. So let's say the lien's 40K and we agree to buy it for 100 and the house is free and clear. The seller will net $60,000. Solar lien gets paid off. A pee bucket under the desk? No. It's a water bottle I drink water out of. That'd be disgusting. Ew. How do you approach a probate lead? I approach a probate lead 2 ways. I'll either cold call them or I'll actually send a probate mailer out to them. The best way is you don't tell the probate that, hey, John, I saw your mom died. I want to buy her house. You're going to get your marketing is going to be terrible on that. What you need to do is ask, hey, John, are you the owner of 123 Main Street, the house where the person's mom died? They're going to be thrown off a little, but the cool part about that is they're going to say technically they're the owner because they kind of understand that. And you're asked if they're interested in selling it. You're not out there saying that, hey, I know someone died and I'm trying to go buy your house. It seems like it's a little out of the blue, but you don't seem like a terrible person to them that you're doing that. Or it's more trusted with it that you're just calling people looking to buy properties in the area. It has the best results. Thank you. How do you approach it? I already answered that one. Let's see here. Jackson says, I'm from Washington State, and the hot and cold meter on PropStream says everything is red. Do you know any good counties? Are you talking about Kings County in Washington? I don't exactly know what you mean by that, but if you're in Kings County, that's probably the most saturated one. I would look at other wholesalers in Washington State and see who's doing well and who's not, and do that one. Speed and rapport. That's what I'm talking about. Speed and rapport. So important, guys. Speed and rapport. Julio says, should I door knock the house I skip trace that I don't have a working phone number? Yes, go door knock. Or leave a yellow sticky note that says, hey, this is Julio. Please give me a call. Then put your phone number. If they don't answer the door, just put it on the front door. Easy. Okay, thanks, Zach. I appreciate it. See here, GFFFF says, is it really possible realistically to get your first deal in under a month without spending too much money? I'm going to be wholesaling full-time in Dallas for 8 weeks. I've been moving there. I'm moving there this weekend. Yeah, I got a deal my first month. So I mean, it took me 30 days to get the deal, and I spent $300. So if I can do it, I guess you can do it. So yeah, I mean, there's people out there doing a month. There's people get their first deal after a year. It really depends. Just sometimes it's luck. Sometimes it's how well of a marketing you do. It really, I hate saying it depends a lot, but it really does. It's how much time and effort you're going to put into getting a deal. Nicole, what's up, Nicole? Nicole says, so happy to finally tune into a live video. Thanks for all the info, Zach. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate it. Jalen says, trying to start up, got PropStream, got batch leads figured out. What market I want to target? What should I do next? Jalen, let me go help you out here. There's a video where I really break this down really well. This is kind of perfect. And it worked. It's still to this day. So what I'm literally doing right now is I'm on my phone. I just popped up YouTube. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to search I'm just going to search Flip with Rick, or I'm going to search Zach Ginn. So I'm going to search Zach Ginn. I'm going to put market. Zach Ginn market. That's what I'm literally searching right here. It's going to be a video that pops up. I'm going to scroll a little more. Actually, no. Search Flip with Rick market. That'll pop up even faster. So Flip with Rick space market. That's it. Flip with Rick space market. Okay. Watch. I'm going to search. Click search here. Do you see the second video on here? It says top 10 virtual markets. What I want you to do is click that video. Okay. We got a guru on the top of the ad. So I'm not going to show that because I don't want you guys knowing who I say who's guru or not, because I don't want to make fun of anyone. So I can scroll down here really quickly and just break down the markets really quick. So let's see here. So these markets right now from start to finish, I don't think I have the official list. Let me see if I do. I'm trying to get it to you as quick as possible. Let's see. I don't think it's popping. Oh, here it is. So here's the list. Okay, guys, ready? Number 10 here is Fresno, California. These are the top wholesaling virtual markets. So choose one of these markets. You should be good. Number 10, or you do something outside of it. But number 10 here is Fresno, California. Number 9 here is Cleveland, Ohio. 8 is Memphis, Tennessee. 7 is San Antonio, Texas. 6 is Houston, Texas. 5 is Greenville, South Carolina. 4 is Onslow, Onslow County, North Carolina. 3 is Macon, Georgia. 2 is Fayetteville, North Carolina. Number 1 is Knoxville, Tennessee. Chattanooga is another great one. There's so many different ones out there that's really well. There's so many. Richmond, Virginia is another really good one. There's so many great virtual wholesaling markets where I recommend you just choose one of those I just said. Go all in on it. You'll do well. Your market won't be the problem when it comes to that. So that's what I would say. Appreciate the question, Jalen. Natty, sure for Natalie, I don't know. Let me know. I'm really bad with names. I'm sorry. How do you build your buyers list? I tried Facebook, but no one answered. Come on. Search Facebook cash buyers space flip with Rick. I have a video. I go to Facebook groups. I go to search. I go to @gmail.com. I pull all the emails from them, and then I'll go email blast that list, and then boom, I get cash buyers from there. Stop. Search Facebook cash buyers space flip with Rick. Honestly, you know what? You're watching this from YouTube, so I'm just going to post the link in the comments. So because I don't throw it in the annex, I couldn't find it. So let me go try to help you out. Facebook's the best way to find cash buyers. So let me go here. I'm on YouTube. Let's see here. I am going out here and I am going to the search tab right here. I'm searching Facebook, cash buyers, space flip with Rick. It is the first one on there. Literally show you how to add 250 cash buyers every single day. Yep, simple as that. So I'm going to click share. I'm going to go copy how to share it. Also, guys, I recommend you guys share all my videos if you can. Always helps. So let's copy. All right. And I'm going to go post it right now because that is how serious I am on that video. It's the best video when it comes to actually finding cash buyers on Facebook. Literally show you get 250 cash buyers a day. For all my people out here that are watching this from Facebook, screenshot this link really quick. I'm going to give you guys a second. It's HTTP. Anyone watching this like audio wise, it's HTTPS semicolon dash forward dash youtu.be/EE capital K capital V capital T for capital T capital O capital D capital L lowercase c. Telling you that's the only video you need for that question. Thanks. Awesome. Let's see. Jackson wants to know if I can explain a JV. It's pretty simple. What I would, guys, also, if you have any questions about me or any like questions, I want you guys search that, space it with Zach Ginn or space it with Flip with Rick. If you search JV space Flip with Rick, there's an hour video of me explaining it like really in detail. That will probably be the best for all these questions. I don't answer your question. I'm sorry. That's what I recommend today if I don't get to your question. But to explain a JV, it's you're partnering up with someone on one deal, and usually you're splitting the deal. So you got to fulfill a need. So let's say you have a deal and I can't find a cash buyer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Sally Sue over here, who has a bunch of cash buyers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a JV agreement where I agree with them that I'll split the deal if they find the cash buyer. We have a JV agreement, a joint venture agreement, where let's say it's a $40,000 deal. I'll get 20, they get 20, and they help me because the deal I probably would close. So that's basically what JV is. Hopefully it helped. And thank you so much for all the information. You're welcome. JV is also short for joint venture, or also people say partnering up on a deal. Now he says, I've been wholesaling for 11 months now, and I've had 4 of my deals fall through and haven't got my first one, but hey, I'm still here. Probably got to up our cash buyers on our marketing. Jay wants those Hillsborough County in Florida, good market. Yes, the outskirts are really good. I think Citrus County is really good too. And what's the county north of? I think it's Citrus County. Let's see. There's some really good opportunities in Polk County. And there's also really good Pinellas. I probably wouldn't do Pinellas County, but if you go north, Pasco County and Hernandino County, Sumter, Polk, Manatee County is decent. I'd probably avoid that, but I probably do Polk, Pasco, Hernando, Sumter, and Citrus. Those are the counties I would do in that area if I were you. And then low cost in Hillsborough too, yes. How do you figure the repair costs for virtual wholesaling? I mean, you just got to see the pictures and see. My best recommendation for finding repair costs, though, is just experience. Again, that's the best one out there, but it's kind of general one to say there. So the best way to actually find the repair costs in virtual wholesaling is to call contractors in your local area and see how much things cost. Generally, I would say you'll get a pretty good idea how much it costs for a new roof, new AC, new flooring, how to replace things. Really, you start making your own spreadsheet, how much things will cost, and then basically what a new roof costs. And then you kind of figure out exactly what the repair costs from there. Cold call contractors and ask the cost of things. It helps you guys so much, I can tell you right now. Is Orlando a good market? It's a decent one. I think all of Orange County is really good. Orlando's still a pretty decent market. Eli says, hey, I'm 19. I look extremely young, and I can't lie. When you started young, I was hard to convince people you're legit. How do you get around this? Confidence. Confidence, guys. That's what it's all about. Confidence is everything. You will not have a problem with your age, your squeaky voice, if you have facial hair or not. It's all about confidence. There's a house in my neighborhood that's been boarded up for 20 years. It's a great property. We make great money. I script chasing belongs to a 97-year-old man. Cold call it. Hey, go after it. Find where the mailing address is and see if you can talk to him. Bro, what's a good market in NoCal? Find markets that are under 200K and above 50 and do your own research on there. There's none that really come to mind right now. Let's see here. Angelica, starting off with 1K, where would you invest it? List or drawing for dollars if a list would recommend. Drawing for dollars and then skip tracing and getting $1. That'd probably where I'd do 1,000. Use the money for drawing for dollars. Hate that. You're wholesaling, son. Oh my gosh. Any tips in wholesaling, unfortunately, Lucy? Consistency. That's it. Keep consistently marketing. It's a saturated market, so just keep it up. I have the same exact problem. LOL. That's funny. Todd's the killer out there in Richmond. Don't go 50, try 70, 30, 60, 40. Todd, that's actually a good one because if you have the contract, that's the most valuable part. So yeah, I would agree with that one. Go, Zach. Go. Thanks, Todd. I appreciate it. Thank you. Jay says, thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you. Michael says, hey, Zach, I've been starting out virtual wholesaling from outside. Do you know if the title companies wire? Most of them will. Call and ask, though. I'm near Richmond, Virginia, but marketing in DC. What have you heard about Richmond? Do Richmond. Drive for dollars in Richmond and then cold call that list. That's all you got to do in Richmond. I'm telling you. Do not do DC. No. Do Richmond. How would you wholesale a mobile home that was built before 1976? The same way you'll wholesale a mobile home that was built in 2021. Talk to the seller. Hopefully the land's owned underneath it, and then find a buyer. That's it. Alrighty, let's see. Last question here is from Shaniqua. I'm probably saying her name wrong. I'm really sorry. But again, I'm trying to help as much as I can. My 14-year-old wants to learn this business. Would it make sense to have him cold call? Yes. Have them watch every single Flip with Rick YouTube video if possible. And that's what I'd say. Start cold calling. That will gain their most skills and help them out. All right, guys. I appreciate it. That's it. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate the support you guys get on the channel. It means everything to me. Again, this is how to dominate your wholesaling market. Start dominating today. Consistent action will lead you for market domination.